All right, so we're really diving deep today into these fascinating excerpts you brought from First Chronicles
Absolutely.
about King David and his son Solomon.
Yeah.
And wow, just talk about a story of ambition and faith and maybe even a little bit maybe of regret in there.
A touch of it.
Yeah, definitely a touch of it. So we're focusing on, as you know, King David
Hmm.
built a kingdom on faith, right? And then his son Solomon, who's about to kind of inherit this legacy,
Yeah.
this task of building the temple in Jerusalem,
Right, right.
which is no small feat.
Yeah. No small potatoes.
These verses that you pulled out where David is addressing his people, I mean, you can just feel the emotion
Oh, absolutely.
in his words, right?
Yeah.
He's laying out this deep desire he's always had to build this permanent home
Yeah.
for the Ark of the Covenant.
Yes.
And you can tell this wasn't just like a pet project for him. It was like the culmination of a life's devotion.
Absolutely. You're exactly right. It's palpable in the text just how much this means to him. And, this temple that David envisioned, it wasn't just about bricks and mortar. It was about creating this physical manifestation
Yeah.
of God's presence among his people,
Right. Right.
And you might be thinking, well, what exactly is the Ark of the Covenant anyway? And, it wasn't just some fancy chest.
Right.
It was believed to contain the very words of God handed down to Moses.
Oh, wow.
So we're talking like a direct connection to the divine,
Wow.
which, you can see why David was so passionate about creating a fitting dwelling for it.
Okay, but here's the thing, and this is where I kind of scratched my head a little bit when I was reading this, but God actually tells David he's not the one to build the temple.
Mm.
And it's not because he doubts David's faith.
Right.
It's because of his past. It's because of his history as a warrior.
Yes.
It's like God saying, look, David, you've led armies. You've won these crazy battles. You established this kingdom. You've got that whole leadership thing down pat.
Mm-hmm.
But a temple, a house of peace and prayer, that requires a different energy. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. It's a fascinating twist for sure.
It's a curveball.
It really is.
Yeah.
When you consider, the context of David's reign.
Right.
Remember, he wasn't just a king.
Right.
He brought together a whole nation.
Right.
Fought battles, consolidated power.
Right.
And as impressive as those accomplishments were,
Yeah.
they came at a price, right?
Right.
There was bloodshed, even if it was in the name of, establishing this kingdom for God.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing carries weight.
Of course.
And so for a place that's supposed to embody peace,
Right.
spiritual communion, maybe a different approach was needed.
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying. And you know what's wild to me?
What's that?
David doesn't just tell Solomon, hey, build a temple, go nuts.
Right.
We're talking full-on blueprints here.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the guy's got it all mapped out. It's incredible.
Every room, every courtyard, even like the exact weight of gold he wants used for each little utensil.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting spreadsheet fatigue just thinking about it,
It's true. It's incredibly detailed.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? This meticulousness. It's not just David being a stickler for the rules or, wanting things a certain way.
Yeah.
Think about all those resources, those materials you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
The talents of gold, silver, bronze, the iron, all of it.
Oh, yeah.
Those weren't just building blocks, right?
Right.
They were symbolic, tied into the very fabric of their faith.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Each weight, each measurement, it all connected back to these religious rituals, to a really deep understanding of God's law,
Wow.
It's like David was providing a blueprint, not just for a building, but for a whole symphony of worship.
It's almost like he was composing a symphony with all of this.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a great way to put it. And speaking of blueprints, something else that really stood out to me.
David keeps telling Solomon to be strong and courageous, like over and over, It's almost like he's saying, look, Solomon, this is about way more than just putting up some walls and a roof.
Oh, absolutely.
This is about leading our people in their faith. It's about you rising to this occasion, proving yourself worthy.
It's a common thread throughout the Bible, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
God often chooses people who, maybe on the surface don't seem like they're up for the task.
Oh, interesting.
Like think about Moses. Initially, he's terrified when God asks him to lead the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt.
Right.
Or Gideon, racked with self-doubt when he's facing down this massive army.
Mm-hmm.
Solomon inheriting this huge responsibility. He probably felt all those things too, The weight of expectation, probably even some fear, mixed in with the excitement.
Of course, yeah.
It's this amazing blend of human vulnerability and like this grand divine purpose.
It's kind of beautiful when you think about it that way, isn't it?
It really is.
And then there's that prayer of David's. Like, I don't it just gets me every time I read it, you know?
It's powerful stuff.
It really is, right? This king, this warrior, this leader standing before God, and he's not like, bragging about all the battles he's won or anything.
Mm.
He's acknowledging that everything he has, everything he is, it all goes back to God.
It's true. It's really a masterclass in humility.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And the way he pleads for Solomon, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's more than just a dad hoping his kid doesn't screw things up, you know?
It goes way deeper than that.
Yeah.
I mean, listen to what he actually asks for.
Mhm.
A perfect heart for Solomon.
Yeah. To follow God's laws, right?
Exactly. David knew that Solomon was going to need wisdom, guidance, like on a whole other level.
Which makes me think about the whole, like, the coronation thing. Solomon being anointed king.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it all happens so fast. Like, David's still alive, right? Do we know why the rest?
It's interesting, isn't it? It speaks to how important this smooth transition was, especially with the temple, this massive project about to get underway.
Yeah, makes sense.
This wasn't just a father handing things off to his son. This was about making sure the whole kingdom was stable,
Wow, yeah.
about keeping things on track with, God's bigger plan.
So we've talked about all this pressure on Solomon, right, to step into his dad's shoes, live up to this legacy. And it makes me wonder, we all inherit things from the people who came before us, right?
That's true, yeah.
Traditions, values, all that. How do we deal with that? Do we shy away from it, or do we find a way to build something amazing with it, something worthy of what we were given,
It's a question we all have to ask ourselves at some point, right? What are we going to do with what we've inherited?
Man, so much to think about. Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into, ambition, legacy, and a whole lot of faith.
It was a good one.
It really was. Thanks for walking us through it all today.
My pleasure, as always.
And thanks to all of you for listening in. We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Welcome to Charlie and Mia's podcast. We're embarking on an exciting journey to read through the entire Bible in just 1 year. Every day, we dive into Scripture, exploring its meanings and how it applies to our lives today. We invite you to join us on this incredible adventure of learning and discovery. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode.